Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader Mary Trimble, here with the readings for love and finance for the second half of April. I am so happy that I am feeling well for the first time in weeks. I haven't worn makeup in over a month. It was tough going there, darling. Tough going. So let me just wait for a few minutes before for people to join. And we can get started. Yes, there we go. Oh dear, I need to turn that off. Oops, a daisy. Hold on. How can I stop that? There we are. I can be quiet here. There's going to be a little there we go. Alrighty then, so how is everyone? I hope that I find you all well, healthy and hopeful. Although it's been very difficult to try and be hopeful during this time, hasn't it, guys? It has. Let's see, hold on. Okay. Alrighty then. So I'm just going to wait for a few minutes here while people join. 5:15 is a very poignant number. That's why I decided to come on at 5:15. For the love and romance. I'm going to talk a little about what's going on astrologically for the next couple of weeks. I'm just going to hit on it a little bit because I will be putting out the weekly astrological forecast and general information this weekend. So let's see what's going on. Oh, let me turn my phone on silent. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on financially. If no one comes in, I'm going to start on the readings immediately. I can start with, I first want to talk about what's going on astrologically, and on Wednesday we have the new moon in Taurus, and I wanted to mention that this is about finance and love, right? And Venus rules Taurus. It's very tactile, and Venus is all about love, relationship, finances. Taurus is about being tactile and being secure, and it's also about banking, represents banking and money too. So I thought that was very interesting in terms of our reading for today. Now, on Thursday, April the 23rd, Ramadan begins. Just thought I'd mention that. And then we have Saturday the 25th, Pluto goes retrograde. And look, I'm going to definitely mention this in the weekly astrological readings because this is very powerful. Pluto retrograde is powerful because it's also conjunct Jupiter, right? It's right next to Jupiter. So it's going to have a particular punch. And I will talk about that in the weekly astrological reading. Now, on Monday, the 27th, Mercury goes into Taurus. So things kind of slow down a bit. It's more deliberate. Our communication's more deliberate and slow. Because it's been very blah 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 blah, very fast and powerful, and because it's been in Aries, right? So it's very powerful. It's very hot, hot button kind of thing, reactionary in Aries, and then it's going to go. It'll be a little more placid and relaxed and slower in Taurus. So, gosh, is nobody here? Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone's watching because nobody's saying hello. Anyway, here we go. I am going to go on. We're going to do Aries, whether anyone here is here or not. I've been missing in action, so I kind of understand that. I haven't been around much because the last month, as I said, I wasn't well. I can neither confirm nor deny that I had COVID-19 because much to everyone's belief. Hi, someone's here. Thank God, somebody showed up. New York, you can't get tested. It's like unless you're taken into the hospital. So I just stayed at home, did some self-healing, and just sat it out, rode it out, so to speak, and had help with my friends and my loved ones, and so anyway, I'm better and I'm happy that I'm back. It's the best I've felt. Oh my goodness, I didn't think I was ever going to get well. So, Erolog is your name. I don't know if you Erolg. Do you have a question that you'd like to ask the tarot before I start the readings? Would you like to ask a question for the tarot? I can pull a card for you if you have a question. If not, I'll go right on. There's a little delay for me. I'm a little bit ahead. I thought that the picture behind me was very apropos for Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Would you like to ask a question, Gloria, for the tarot? Well, you get your own little reading here before we go. So I chose this picture behind me. Let me see. I've got all these windows in. Excited for the Taurus new moon. Exactly. Hi, Edward. Yes, exactly. Maybe more clarity for it. I'm going to just I'll just pull a card for you, Gloria, and see what happens. We'll see what you need to know. And then I'm going to go on with the readings. I'll just go on. Yes, Edward, I will. Okay. This is for Gloria. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Gloria? What can you... Hi. Here we are. Oh, Gloria. Well, this is interesting because a lot of people get this. This is particularly during this time. Hi, Leanne. This is about worry and in fear and creating in your head the worst case scenario. So it's like when this comes in, it's sometimes it's going down the rabbit hole and it causes sleeplessness, and it's really being worried and afraid of the future and just not having a pessimistic view. So when this comes in, it's very difficult to pull yourself out of this, but it's so important to focus on gratitude and what do you have, not what haven't you got. And don't think about the future. You've got to be in the moment. Listen, the future's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's one of those it's that kind of time that we really have to be in the moment and enjoy what we have right here and now. You've heard this before. The future is fantasy, the past is a dream, and right now is a gift, is the present. No, it's the gift. That's why we call it the present. Got that wrapped around my head, didn't I? So there you go. If nobody has any other questions for the tarot, I will do the readings, and I will take more questions after the readings, at the end of the video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me. And it helps with the algorithm if you like it. And okay, I'm going to do the romance. If nobody's asked, are we experiencing a cosmic shift? Well, Leanne, I would say yes, but I will answer that through spirit. But I would definitely say yes. The whole planet's going through a cosmic shift. Some of us will be awakened, and some of us are still asleep. So, okay. Are we in a cosmic shift? Yeah. Yes, we are. And we're in a very interesting astrological time. Exactly. That's why I mentioned Pluto, and Pluto is going retrograde. So when Pluto slows down, right, all the symbolism. Hi, Noor. I'm great. How are you? Oh, I'm going to make you, what is it called? Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to make you a monitor, Noor. There you go. You are now a monitor. I said I would make you good to see you too. Fabulous. Okay, so with Pluto going retrograde, it is slowing down, and it's an outer planet, right? So normally people would say, oh, it's an outer planet, it's so small, but it has such a major effect on us, right? And so are we in a cosmic shift? Yes, this is the Three of Wands. It's also saying that we need to really see things in optimistically, a future in optimistic terms. And right now, I know that's challenging for a lot of us. I know it's very difficult for us. So it's very difficult to bring ourselves into the present and be positive. But the way to think of things positively is to just, what's the word I'm looking for? Gratitude. Gratitude's the easiest way to turn it around. And it's like being grateful for the little tiny things in life. This is about making long-term optimistic plans. Because when we do that, we're opening our minds up to new ideas of moving forward. It becomes hopeful. Honestly, I know that it's been very challenging for all of us, and I was ill, so it was extremely challenging for me. I just never felt I was going to get better. I would get better for half a day or a day, and then I would fall back. So it was really debilitating for me. But today, after 3 or 4 days of feeling okay, I felt back to normal, and I was able to see the future optimistically like this, and hopeful, and thinking, and I was trying to rack my brains of how can I do things a little differently. Maybe I need to change some things, because Pluto is a force of nature, and Pluto is conjunct Jupiter, so it's very poignant this time. Of course, Pluto was conjunct Saturn, and that's going to play out again, and Pluto is now conjunct Pluto's conjunct Jupiter right now, so that's also amplifying the energy of Pluto. So things get better and then they go back. Things get better and then they go back. And listen, astrologers have been talking about 2020. Nobody that I'm aware of predicted a pandemic. But we did know that it was life before 2020 and life after. We knew that it was going to be huge, massive changes. So, you know, I'm going to do an extensive video on the astrological aspects that are coming up. So I'm going to do that shortly, because there's some very interesting things happening, and that'll be for this week coming up. I will be doing that. So if there are no other questions, I'll pick up the questions again later. But let's go through the readings. Let's start with Aries at the beginning, and at this moment it is still Aries. It's still Aries birthday time, isn't it? So happy birthday, Aries. On today, the 17th, still it's your time. So I'd like to wish everyone who's an Aries happy birthday. I don't know if I mentioned Barbara Love before when I did the readings. Barbara Love. Who else? My patron, Joey, and who else? Let me see. Gosh, there's so many Aries, and I know I'm forgetting them. Anyway, listen, darling, I love you all. Happy birthday, Aries. I'm sorry if I've negated to mention you right now, because there's so many. I know so many. But another thing during this this quarantine, my mind has gone to mush. I mean, I learn something every day. I'm always studying, and astrology, you can never stop studying. There's always something else to learn. It's a fascinating subject. So I'm always, you know, expanding my knowledge in astrology. But I couldn't focus the whole, 3 weeks. I couldn't focus with the headache that I had. But anyway, I'm back, darling. So here we go. This is for Aries, and I'm going to pull the romance card angels for love, as we have this new moon in Taurus coming up next week, 22, the 22nd for some of us on the East Coast, and then the 23rd in Britain. Early hours of the morning, like at 3:25 in the morning. It's 10:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:25 on the West Coast. And this is for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, helpful information can you give Aries for love and romance for this coming week? And we all know that some people have been very frustrated with their significant others being stuck in, quarantined with them. Okay. Aries. Okay. Oh, 2 cards came out for Aries straight away. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you have 2 cards. I think I'm going to do... I think what would be really interesting would be to do, because I'm looking at these, I would like to do cards. I was going to do cards for single. Okay, let me ask you. Would you like me to pull a card for single people in the sign and those in relationships separately? I'll wait for your feedback. But I'm going to pull these cards that fell out for Aries in the meantime. So let me know, guys. You want separate cards for those who are single and those who are in relationships. Would you like that, or shall I just pull them out? Okay, so you've got 2 cards. You have religious factors. And this is saying that your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So some of us are in relationships with people who are... Happy birthday, Kathy. I'm going to give you a card after, but right now I'm doing the readings. I'll do the single and the those in your relationship. So this is about the single, the relationship, people who are in relationships in Aries. So your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. And some of us are in these relationships with people who have totally different belief systems. I know that my last husband had a completely different viewpoint on religion and spirituality. He was Muslim and I'm spiritual, kind of not into religions at all. So it was interesting how you have to navigate your relationship through those belief systems, which is very challenging. I was going to say hence our divorce, but it wasn't for that. It wasn't that reason. It was probably a contributing factor, but it wasn't that, it wasn't that reason. So listen, when this card comes up, look, if you really love this person, you can navigate around these belief systems and you can respect each other's belief. As long as you can respect each other's faith and beliefs, it's really important to have a lot of other, what do I want to say? You really have to have a lot of values, similar values. So it just one or two differences, you can still navigate through that. But overall, you have to have a lot of your values should be similar for the relationship to work and for you to be able to navigate through. You have to be open. You both have to be open enough to accept each other, no matter what your belief system is, right? And then, for those who are single, people are chatting online and people are, on dating sites still and just chatting to people. And it's very kind of dating with a social distance and talking on the phone. And this is saying true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. This can be, for those of you who are single and you're out there, actively looking for someone during this time. There are a lot of people that want company during this time. And so you can build a relationship during this time of quarantine. And perhaps it could be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It could get quite deep and quite meaningful because you're not getting that physical, gratification. But make sure you are doing live videos with the person because you want to be very careful not to have someone, someone pretending to be who they're not. And you always know that when you're doing a live video conference with someone, or you're on FaceTime or something like that, you really have to know that you are, if you're dating online, that you're dealing with the right person. Years and years and years ago, I remember somebody emailing me, and I think it was before FaceTime even, and sending photographs, and then when I went to meet them, they were completely different. I was so shocked I couldn't even kind of walk away. I couldn't walk away. I was like, I don't know how people have the nerve to be different. Well, if you are doing FaceTime, you've got all this stuff now that you can actually see the person. So I say all that you want to make sure that no one is pulling the wool over your eyes. But if you're in a relationship, I would say, and I really feel that I'm really getting to, if you're in a relationship, it's a very strong relationship. This of course is a general reading, guys. Okay, and now let's do finance. And because this finances are coming up, for sure, there's a lot going on. Well, of course, a lot of people aren't working, but finances are majorly coming up during this astrologically, with Pluto going retrograde and this new moon in Taurus at the same time squaring Saturn and conjuncting Uranus. So there's a lot. It's a lot to process, but I will talk about that this week. Okay, so this is for finance for Aries. And of course, some people are doing quite well because actually the medical staff, a lot of people are being contracted from out of town to come into different, cities that are hard hit, and they are getting extra money, the health workers, to do that. So some people are, and they're working, some people are working extra hours and making money. Thank goodness for that. They're blessed. I'm very happy for them. This is for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries in terms of their finances? What would be helpful for them to know? For Aries. Okay, one card came out. I'm just going to go with that. The Hierophant. What a perfect card to come out. This is about trusting and having faith that everything's going to be okay. It's things, listen, I keep saying that things won't go back to normal. We'll have a new normal. Things will change. And that's what Pluto's about. Pluto is forcing us to transform and to change. And, Taurus doesn't like that. Taurus is very fixed. It's very hard for Taurus to change and to open up. But this is what's being called for right now. And so it's about really trusting, going back to your faith and knowing that you're going to be okay. Don't worry, no matter what, just accept what's coming down the pipe and go with the change. Start to think of different ways in which to earn a living. How can you do things differently? Ask that question. But you're going to be okay. Have faith and trust. And 5 is about change. So look, there's change happening no matter what. And we have to understand that, and we have to be okay with that, and we'll have power in that, in release. Once we surrender to the change, then we can release, and then we are empowered. Right? That's the things have to break down before they can be rebuilt. Okay, so we are going to go on to Taurus. So I'm going to pull a card first for people in relationships, those Taurians that are in relationships already. This is what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Taurus? Those who are committed or in relationships, what can you tell them? What would be helpful for them to know? Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, so oh, this is funny. So those of you who are parents, this is your love life is being affected by children, and so this is in relationship. So many people are affected by it because everyone's stuck in with their kids, and the kids are going nuts, and you've got to entertain them, and not only that, you've got to kind of homeschool them almost. I mean, a lot of kids are getting remote lessons, but all my friends have been calling me. They're all going nuts. They're all going nuts. And they're saying how, they really have to do a lot of work. And some of them are trying to work from home, right? I'm just going to pull my glasses on. Some of them are working from home, and they've got to try to balance and help these kids go through their schoolwork. So I think they're only mandated, the teachers, to have a lesson for 15 minutes a day here in New York. But I know that my friend's school, that teacher is making an extra effort and doing it twice a day, which is, helpful. But they have a full schedule, and the parents have got to kind of put that together. It is a challenge. It's so much work for them. All my friends are bitter, bitter and twisted. So it's exhausting. But if they surrender to this and just, try to, between, the two parents, if you're a single parent, it's even more difficult. I tell you what, I have been one of my, the gratitude that I've had is that I don't have any young kids at home. I was so grateful. I thought, oh my God, if this happened when my kid was small, he may not have survived it. So it's challenging, yeah. So some of you, I'm sure you're challenged by your children, and some of you miss your children. Some are older and they miss their children. They can't, or their grandkids. You can't kind of, the grandkids can't visit because they're more of a danger to the grandparents. So this, your relationships and then some people are trying to have a child, and it's very difficult if you're going through in vitro at this time. I mean, it's hard to get all the tests done, to go to the, hospital or the doctor, because everybody's inundated with this pandemic. So it's challenging for a lot of people. Now, let's go to single Taurus. What is going on with single Taurus? This is for single Taurus. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Taurus? Those that are single, You might be I had this funny meme. I think I put it in the astrology group. Oh, guys, please don't forget to like this video. The astrology group, I'll put that, if you're not a member, I'll put that link below. But I think I put that meme in. That it's like, oh yeah, now I'm ready to date. God releases a global pandemic. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so this is for Taurus, for single Taurus. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Taurus? Those that are single. Oh, 2 cards you get, Taurus, single Taurus. Okay. Oh, I'm looking for a new love, baby. This is a new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I wonder who that is. Maybe you've gone to the shops and seen someone with a mask on. I mean, maybe you're talking to someone, but there's a possibility that a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, or could do within the next 2 weeks. That's kind of exciting. And then if you are just starting to get to know someone, and that's quite difficult during this time, because you can't really kind of see each other. I mean, I don't know if people are breaking some rules, I don't know, but this is saying make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So sometimes this can mean like making the effort to go online and meet someone. Listen, a great way to meet people too are Facebook groups, or any online kind of group that you could, like-minded people. You're bound to find someone that has your same values as you. If you join a group that you can kind of chat with others in the group, and they're like-minded, so they probably have similar values. How exciting is that? Alrighty then, so now Taurus, this is for finances. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Taurus on their finances? And that's important. Taurus wants, and Taurus, you have Uranus going through your house, so that's a lot. You've had surprises and shocks. Things have, you've probably made money and lost money, or, investments have gone up and gone down. There's a lot of ups and downs with Uranus, and so that's really definitely affecting you, and with this new moon for sure. But definitely an intention for this new moon is important, and this new moon is about finances and love and relationship and tactile, and it's about remaining calm. Okay, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Taurus on finances for the last 2 weeks of April? That's it, one. I don't think I'm going to get another one. Oh yeah, you've got two. There you go. Ah, I'm glad I pulled two. Yeah. Things are breaking down, right? And this, you know, the Tower reminds me of Uranus because it's very electrifying. It's thunder and lightning. And things have to break down in order to be rebuilt, right? So, and this Pluto, you know, what's happening with Pluto, we're going to have it. It's going to be a recurring theme for this year and possibly next year, because we also have, you know, Mars is, all the cardinal signs are going to really feel it, and so are the fixed signs. Taurus, you're a fixed sign. So this is a very look, nobody likes the Tower, but when the Tower comes in, things need to look, it's, you know, Taurus doesn't like change, right? They don't like change. They have to be forced into change. Yes, Lise, divorces have increased. They went through the roof in Wuhan. So divorces can be, if you can't work through some issues, then, but this is really about finances, right? But if you can't work through issues during this time, well, the thing is, it's very unnatural to be together all the time like that. It has to be quite a strong marriage to kind of, you know, survive that. You've got to find some way of surviving it and working through it. You know, maybe living in separate parts of the house might do it. I don't know. But anyway, so this is about, and look, this is quite, you know, a lot of people lost some investment, but if you kept your money in, it came back. It's gone back up again a little bit, you know, but it's going to go up and down. Best thing to do is not to look at that. And, you know, people have lost their jobs and they're not doing well financially, but I'm sure things, you know, eventually things will improve. And look, you have the Hermit. And this is definitely about, you know, being the calm in the storm. It's not being, here we are, this lantern represents your mind, right? And he is holding out the lantern. So he separated himself from his mind. It's not like he's controlling his mind, I always say this, but it's about him not being controlled by his mind. So he's not reactionary. So this is happening to a lot of us, right now, and there's no point in worrying. It's a waste of energy. I told my friends, listen, stop worrying. It's only going to depress you. It's a waste of energy. You know, it's stay in the moment. You know, things are right now, people can't be evicted, you know, bills are being deferred. Yes, they're mounting up, but they're being deferred. You'll figure it out later, you know, but right now it's okay, right? And so this is about not reacting to your situations or news, or don't get in that panic and that fear, because that's just a waste. What we have to do is we have to go within, and we have to tap into that knowledge and that we have to tap into that unconditional love. And that source energy within, that infinite power and the possibilities, right? And then we come up and we're a lot lighter because we go in, we're not outside, we're not in the past, we're not in the future, we're right here, you know, and you know, most of us have a roof over our head, and most of us have electricity and heat here. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't. So be in the moment and be grateful. And when things happen, you'll deal with it. Worrying has never, ever solved a problem. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't think about it, but think about it in empowering ways. Ask the question, oh, what can I do differently? What can I do differently? And start writing down ideas that come to you. You know, sometimes I get these ideas, and when I don't write them down, I'm thinking, God, that was a really good idea. What was that? So now I have a pen and paper all around my house, strategically placed, so that I can write my ideas that come in. And listen, when we go into meditation, we are getting downloads. We are getting those. We're getting those ideas. So be the calm in the storm, Taurus. Don't react. Be the, don't let your mind control you. And, hold up the lantern for others, That's what the hermit does. Go within. Okay, we're going to do Gemini, guys. Gemini. So we are going to do Gemini, love and romance for Gemini, and it's going to be for those in relationships at the moment. And then we'll pull the cards we'll shuffle the cards for those who are single. So this is for what wonderful gifts, guidance and blessings and helpful information can you give Gemini for love and romance for the 2 weeks coming up in April? Okay, there it is. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And this is a time, there was really, I think it was on Instagram, I think this couple that, hi, Esmeralda from Oz. This guy had a date night. I mean, he was really invested. How cool was that? He made a date night in every room in the house. Now, I don't know if he had an apartment, right? But I saw one. He did one night in a disco in the bathroom, and he was flickering the lights on and off. And I think he even charged her $18 for a vodka and something. I mean, talk about creative and fun and, and being committed, right? So this is about just being playful. Think of games, don't get heavy, think of games you can play. How can you interact? What can you create that's going to be fun? It's about really tapping into that creativity. Okay, so now let's look at, this is for Taurus. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings. Oh, that's my dog coughing. Oh, Sparky has COVID-19. Okay, this is for Taurus, for single Gemini. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Gemini, single Geminis, about love and romance for the second half of April? Okay. Oh, here we are. So your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So what I would get for this, for Geminis, is join a group for your spiritual belief. What is it that you really, if you're a Christian, you can join a Christian group. You can meet people on that. If you're spiritual or yoga or meditate, join groups, join Facebook groups, or get involved with people online that have the same values and the same kind of spiritual beliefs as you. It's a great place to meet people, right? To meet single people. Maybe you're, who knows who you can meet in these groups. There can be even weight loss groups that you can join and find someone who has the same kind of values and issues as you. Okay, now let's go to finance for Gemini. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Gemini on finances for the second half of April? What wonderful gifts, one card came. Oh my God. The Tower. I mean, you know, this is kind of, doesn't surprise me. The Tower kind of I mean, I would imagine the Tower comes up for most people. That's interesting. It came up for Taurus and Gemini. You know, the Tower, things have to break down before they can be rebuilt. And look, you know, the whole world is in a financial tower. That's it. You know, this is the global finance. Well, you know, some of the richest people are getting richer, and of course the poorest people are getting poorer, and the middle class people are really, you know, it's hitting most of us. But things are definitely changing in the way we earn money. And it's interesting with Uranus going through, Uranus is this innovative energy, right? And Uranus is going through this, you know, Taurus is transiting through Taurus. It'll be there for the next 6 years or so. And at the end of that tumultuous reign in Taurus, let's say, things are going to be very, very different. Finances will probably there will be no cash probably, and it'll all be electronic. I mean, it's getting that way now. Very few people have cash these days. And it will be more electronic, because then, you know, it can be tracked as well, right? Electronically, it can be tracked. That's innovative. I mean, there's all different ways to pay people. I mean, you've got Venmo, you've got PayPal, you've got all these digital apps where you can, you know, pay someone instantly. And I know for my business, I loved it. I love that kind of technology, you know, where you don't have to have cash. You can just, you know, someone can just Venmo money. I love that. Venmo, not venue. But things have to break down. There's a change, you know, as I said before, and I will be talking more about that this week when I do the astrological report, that I will be talking particularly about Pluto going retrograde and that effects on us, because, you know, I just want to pull another card for you. I don't want to leave it with the Tower, Gemini. So can you give Gemini some hope here, please? Let's see, what can you tell Gemini? There you go. There's hope, darling. This is the Empress, you know, and she is the divine feminine. She's got the, oh, my nose is going, Spirit is here. She has the symbolism of Venus. And I kind of, you know, look, there's the new moon in Taurus, and the moon is exalted in Taurus, and the moon's very magnetic, and it's very so it's very what can I say, in Taurus it's very magnetic, it's glowing. So if you've got a moon in Taurus, you're attracting people are attracted to you. It's almost like you have a glow, right? And so that's why I chose this photograph back here with that woman receiving that energy from that Taurus moon. But look, it rules the earth. She's like Gaia, right? So that's very Taurus. It's about the earth. It's about gardening. It's about your body. And this is creativity. So this is beautiful manifesting wealth and abundance through creativity. She's pregnant with brilliant ideas as well, guys. So after the Tower, you have this beautiful Empress coming in, and she's about creativity. So Gemini, get creative. How can you create something wonderful? There's so many incredible creative people are doing some amazing stuff out there right now. They've had all this time at home alone, and they're doing all this creative stuff. It's brilliant. Okay, let's go on to Cancer. Oh, Cancer. Cancer's having a tough time because, you know, Pluto's in Capricorn and Cancer is opposing Capricorn, right? So that's a very challenging place to be. And then the other Aries and Libra are squaring. So it's going to be very challenging for all the fixed signs and all the cardinal signs. The fixed signs being Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and oh, I missed one. Oh, come back to me, brain. Scorpio. Oh my God. Help me. See, I told you my brain's gone to mush. I haven't been able to think clearly. I mean, I'm normally studying every single day and I couldn't focus on anything. So it's been a challenge to get, I've been like even finding words difficult. Conversations, I'm like, bleh, bleh, bleh. All right, so I've got to get my mind back up and running, guys. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is for Cancer. Cancers in relationships. These are for those Cancers who are partnered. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give partnered Cancers through these? Oh, wow. Two came rushing out. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This says, let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold naturally. So resist the urge to manipulate or to control any outcomes. It's not worth it. Just allow. Sometimes you've got to allow the other person to have some space and let them come out, because, you know, Cancers can be very sensitive and they want to, you know, they get very hurt and it's very intense for them. But it's just being open. Try to be open and allow the situation to unfold. It might not be how you think it is, and it's important to try not to take things personally at this time, although I know it's very difficult for Cancers because of that emotional. And plus, you know, you've got this emotional new moon in Taurus that you're very affected by that. Okay, then the next one is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this is about having clarity. What do you want? What is it that you want out of your relationship? How do you want your love to react or respond to you? And when you are less emotional, then you might be able to address that. But I would, you know, definitely put out what you want back and try not to take things personally at this time. Everyone's going through turmoil and frustration at being, you know, stuck in an apartment. Even if they get out for a little bit of time during the day, they're still like, you know, in that holding pattern. So now this is for single Cancers. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Cancerians? What would be helpful for them to know? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings can you give? Do it one more time. These are a bit difficult too, and I can't really, because this is the computer, it jiggles about, trying not to let it jiggle. Okay, this is for Cancer, for single Cancers. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer, single Cancers, for the last 2 weeks of April? So that's the time frame, guys, the last 2 weeks of April. Okay. 2 cards for Cancer. 2 single Cancer. Okay, so this is release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So this is a time when you can really work on that. The sound isn't good. You're not getting good sound, Patricia. Try putting up the sound. Let me see. Is that better? Is anybody else having sound issues? So, Cancer, sometimes we really need to, because we need to release our exes. We need to release any kind of hurt that we've ever, that we've had from our exes, because otherwise we'll bring that into something new, and that's what we need to work on, clearing that energy out. We need to really clear, release our ex. And then you have playfulness, right? To recapture romance, allow your inner useful spirit of fun to shine. So, what's someone saying it? Sound is great. Okay, so maybe, Patricia, maybe you need to put your sound up or something, or sort it out on your end. I don't know. Okay, so playfulness, be coquettish and flirty and fun, and go online and you can still flirt online, or you might meet someone out in the park. I'm not, social distancing, of course. I'm not saying break any rules. Playfulness and release your ex, but release your ex first before you get a little playful, because you don't want to bring that ex energy into something new, right? Okay, so now we're going to do finances for Cancer. So this is for finances. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer for finances for the second half of April? What can you give? This is for Cancer, What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer about finance for the second half of April? Okay. There we have it. We have the 7 of Pentacles. This is a really good card. I'm sorry, Patricia, I don't know what to say, because it's saying that my sound is fine. So I don't know. Okay, so the 7 of Pentacles is about reassessing. And I think it would really help a lot of us to do this. So it's about assessing so you have to look at the energy and the effort that you've put into everything. And this is about, where do you need to reinvest, right? So look, this is like a farmer, and he planted all this, all his seeds, and he's actually going around, he's taking a moment in his day to look at the fruits of his labor. And look, he has one that he has picked and is at the bottom right by his feet, and he's going to leave these, and then he's going to take this for himself. So it's really about assessing the effort that you put into something. Do you need to tweak something that you've been doing, perhaps? Have you started something online? Have you started something? Have you been doing something for a while and it's not working out? Have you been in a job that's not working out? Whatever you've been doing, it is time to make a very serious assessment and figure out, strategize about what you're going to do from now on. So are you going to reinvest? So look, maybe you've had a really good return, and so yes, you want to leave some stuff in, reinvest, and keep on doing what you're doing. But if it's not working out, then what can you change? How can you do something a little different? I'm always asking that with my business. I'm always saying, okay, what can I do? Maybe I can create another class. Maybe I can, do a different type of video. Maybe I can do the video differently. What can I freshen? What can I change about it? And that's what Cancers are being asked to do. If you're in a particular career, has it worked out for you? Are you feeling fulfilled in it? Is it time for you to change that? What can you change? Or what do you need to change if you do? So now let's go on to Leo. Lovely Leo. And I want to give a shout out to Norton, who lives in England. He's probably not listening to this because it's way past his bedtime, but he might check it out a bit later. And Norton was carjacked. Can you believe that? In England. And he was carjacked and he was thrown heavily on the ground, at gunpoint. These guys held him up and carjacked him. And he's a member of my astrology group, and those of you in my astrology group know him. He's lovely. He's always welcoming people. He's such a nice man. And they threw him down so hard, his hip cracked. And thank God for the NHS, darling, in England. They replaced his hip immediately. He went in for hip surgery, replacement surgery, straight away. And but he's recovering, so he's in, it's horrible. What a horrible thing. What horrible people. Who would do that, Anyway, so he is now held up trying to recover from a hip replacement. And during this time with a pandemic as well, how difficult that is. So my love to Norton, because he's a Leo. And let's see what we have for Leo romance. So this is Leos in committed relationships who are already partnered. Let's see what we have. This is for Leo. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you tell Leo? Can you give Leo? Those who are already partnered in relationships, what can you tell them? Let's see, for the last 2 weeks of April. There it is, 1. Forgiving and learning. What great advice for people in quarantine. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Sometimes we have to do this moment by moment, right? This is forgiving and learning. So we just have to really let things go quickly, and not kind of let them build up, and understand that we're going to get frustrated, but it's about letting go and moving on, right? And learning from our experience so that we can go forward without, bitterness or resentfulness, and make it work. It's, it's an effort. And look, when you release anger or frustration, and you can learn from it, right? You can learn from your reaction or your part in it, then you can move on, and then you can experience more love in the present, right? Okay, now this is for single Leos. This is what beautiful, what love, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Leo, single Leos, for the last 2 weeks in April. Single Leos, yeah. Karen, no, afterwards. After I've done all the readings, I'll take personal questions, yes. Okay, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Leos for the last 2 weeks in April? There it is. Love yourself first, darling, which is always a really good advice. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And isn't that the truth across the board, right? When we love ourselves and we respect ourselves, then of course we're attracting that love. People love independence, and they love people who are confident. They're attracted to them, right? We're all attracted to confidence. Okay, now let's see what's going on with finances for Leo. Okay, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Leo in terms of finances for this coming, the last 2 weeks in April? So this is finances for Leo. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Leo? Okay. Leo. There it is. I'm going to do 2. I don't think it wants to come out. It's funny because this... No, this one did, yeah. This is really interesting. Okay, so you have, the first card that came up was the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands is about being exhausted. It's about so tired. It's like he's dog-eared, right? The 9, he has been dog-eared from about, hold on, let me just look. So, oh, you're welcome, darling. Thank you. Okay. So the 9 of Wands is that feeling of wanting to give up, right? It's that feeling of just being tired of protecting what's yours, of fighting for what's yours. It's exhausting. This is like he's been beaten up by life. All the battles he's had and all the struggles along the way. And this is a time where people just feel like, oh, I just can't be bothered. I just can't, as they say in England, I can't be asked anymore, But when the 9 of Wands comes in, it's saying, don't give up just yet. Don't worry. Things are going to turn around, and you may have one more battle left. Number 9, you're almost at the finish line, before you get to 10, right? So this is about, maybe you need a little respite. Maybe you need to lick your wounds and to rejuvenate a little bit, take a minute's rest, step back, and allow yourself to heal, and then come back in, because you have the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands is about loads of opportunities coming your way. These can be brilliant ideas landing at your feet, or opportunities. Things are starting to open up, and I feel that this is like, don't give up hope. And I know it's exhausting sometimes, but stay in there. Spirit is here. My nose is going 10 to the dozen. Let me get this tissue and just... Sorry about that. So there's 8 of Wands. I usually say when the 8 of Wands comes in, I say, be like a ninja. And grab those opportunities. Look for them. Because you might be looking down, or you're looking for people to attack you, or you're expecting the worst with the 9 of Wands, right? You're kind of expecting, the onslaught, and you're ready to fight. But this onslaught the onslaught that's coming in are opportunities, good things. So it's like being very busy, and notice those opportunities. All right, so we're going on to Virgo, darling. Virgo. Just going to shuffle these cards. We're going to Virgo. We're halfway through, guys. About just over an hour. We're going to make this quick. Okay, Virgo. Now we're going to do love first. Virgo, for those in partners. Those already partnered in Virgo. Love and romance. What can you tell us about love and romance for Virgos who are partnered in incomplete relationships already, either married or living together? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give? Oof, feeling a lot of energy here. Virgos who are in committed relationships. This is really intense. Okay. Here we are. Virgo, let go of control issues. So allow this situation to unfold naturally. Don't try to control, listen. Virgos are very creative. They're an earth sign, and they're ruled by Mercury. They have these brilliant ideas, and my sister's very creative. She's a Virgo, and she's been doing some incredible creative things. But the Achilles heel of Virgo, right, is to criticize. See, your strength is critical thinking, but your Achilles heel is criticism. So, it's a form of control. It's like you're trying to, in your mind, you're trying to help the situation, and you're helping that person, and that's your intention, to help them to be better, to be the best that they can be. And that's your intention. But some people don't take it like that. Some people take it like, leave me alone. So resist the urge to control, resist that urge to criticize. Some people don't need to be, you just have to let them be. Allow them to be the imperfect people that they are. So allow your husband, wife, lover, partner to be who they are, and resist the urge to help them or to control their life in any way. Back off. Step away from the partner and focus on your creativity. Okay, so now this is for single Virgos. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Virgos? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Virgos? This is for single Virgos. Let me just... for the last 2 weeks in April. Okay. What wonderful gifts. Oh, here we are. Oh, look at this. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together, the honeymoon. This doesn't mean that you're going on a trip with anyone, but this could mean that you are in a honeymoon phase of a new relationship, or start one. You could start one online. So darling, this is definitely going nuts at me. Or you can plan a nice trip. You can meet people if you're socially distancing. There's no harm in meeting someone if you're wearing the appropriate attire and you are socially distancing. And they say, I don't know, in New York, I know Governor Cuomo said that you must wear a mask in public if you are not social distancing. So if you're not social distancing, you don't need a mask, but no first kisses, darling. Unless you're in a hazmat suit. Right now. All right. Now let's go to finances for Virgo. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Virgo for finances? Okay, what's going on financially for Virgo. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you tell Virgo, or give Virgo for the last 2 weeks in April about finances? Okay. Oh, look, beautiful. Okay, this is the Three of Wands. This is about making long-term optimistic plans. It's about definitely, I think things are going to be fine. You have to stay positive and make long-term optimistic plans because, if you have investments, things come back. Things will come back. So I feel that, look, 3 is expansion, and he is waiting for his ship to dock. Now, a ship has come in. He's just looking at it docking, and he's going to wait for them to unload all those riches. And if your ship had come in, you'd also be planning, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other, and I'm going to do this. And this normally means, this is very kind of Sagittarius and very Jupiterianism, right? It's very expansion. So I feel that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay financially. Things are going to fall back into place, but you need to see it in terms of optimism. See it and make those plans. And I'm not talking a few months, I'm talking years. So have a vision. And it's a really good time for the new moon actually in Taurus to do those intentions, to make those intentions and make them. Look, I always say when you do a new moon intention, you kind of have to do it like a story. Be in it as if it's happening. That's the law of attraction, right? And be as detailed as possible in your story. And this is going to happen, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to do this, and this is. It's not, intentions aren't a wish list. They are a storyline, a successful storyline way down the line with you as the star. So you're basically writing your own storyline. You are creating. You're rewriting your book. You can do that with this new moon and make this intention. It's a brilliant time to do it. Okay, Libra. Let's go on to Libra, darling. We're going to do love. Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever. Okay, this is for Libra. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Libra, those that are in committed relationships? Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. You deserve love. You are lovable. So I think, people can be challenged during this time, right? When they're quarantined with their significant other, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time, listen, I've been saying this to a lot of, clients and people that when I do one-on-one coaching, it's so easy to pick on someone's negative qualities, right? It's so easy because they can be glaring. But why not focus on what really works? Focus on their positive attributes, focus on what you love about them. And try to capture that and bring it out and be creative in bringing that out and playful and get them engaged in that in somehow. So, you can dress up and have date night or something, but, focus on the similarities and understand that, sometimes, relationships, people can say that hurtful things, and you need to understand that you deserve to be loved. And it's deflecting what someone says in the heat of the moment, right? And knowing that you deserve to be loved. And there's no two ways about it. Sometimes, for some people, this quarantine will bring up irreconcilable differences. Or some things that will come up that you can actually address. And you can say to somebody, don't talk to me that way. I don't deserve that. You know, say it very calming, because when you scream it at someone, they don't hear it, right? People don't hear. They hear calm. It's like a politician. I could never be a politician. I'm too fiery to be a politician. Forget it. I'd be like, I'd lose it in a second. But there are those people that are very calm and they just say things very calmly, and you're like, oh wow, I really believe them, and I can really hear that. So this is about being calm when you communicate. Now let's go to single Libras. What do we have for single Libras? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Libras right now for the next 2 weeks of April? For the last 2 weeks of April. So hard to, these are difficult to shuffle. I have to shuffle more. Sometimes I'm being told, no, you got to shuffle more. Okay, this is for single Libras. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful. There it is. Okay, single Libras. Oh, it is safe for you to love. I love that. So open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So be vulnerable. Take a chance. Take a risk. It's okay for you to love. This is a time where you can just go out and meet someone. I'm not saying you can't go out and meet someone in a bar or anything like that, but maybe you can meet, as I've been telling everyone, you know, there are so many social groups on the internet. You can do it on Facebook, or, you know, join something on the internet somewhere, some like-minded people, where you can meet people with the same values, right? Your tribe, meet someone from your tribe. I mean, I have a group, it's an astrology group, it's not really a dating group, but, you know, that could be an interesting thing. Anyway, that might be another, let me write that idea down. I say write ideas down. Maybe I'll talk about synergy between signs. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, guys, now let's go to finances for Libra. We're on Libra, right? Put glasses on. Yeah, we're on Libra. Okay, finances. This is for Libra. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Libra in terms of finances for the last 2 weeks in April? Maybe some of you are getting the stimulus check. My friends are like, I haven't got my stimulus check yet. Let's see. Okay, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Libra for finances for the last 2 weeks of April? Oof, I'm feeling this energy. This is definitely coming in for Libra, Libra, Libra. Okay. Oh, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information we give Libra. Oh, hold on. I've got to do this one more time. This is for Libra. Finances for the last 2 weeks. Okay. There it is. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you this because this is lovely. Something's going to pay off. I feel this is about the Ace of Pentacles is like seeing, I always think of like the crocuses pushing up in the springtime, right? Coming up, the little buds. It's like starting to see something pay off. The fruits of your labor, you're starting to get paid, which is lovely. this is like you planted a seed and think there's a promise of something wonderful coming in. So I feel that you're getting some, maybe some of you are getting a little influx of cash this week. Maybe, you know, you applied for your stimulus or unemployment and it's coming through, or maybe you're getting a check, or maybe you're getting a promise of a new job. I mean, there are still jobs out there. There's loads of jobs out there that you can get. And that some of them pay pretty well as well, surprisingly enough. So whatever this is for you, fabulous. This is, maybe your investments are coming back to, you know, are flourishing. Maybe that could be the case for some of you Leos. But I feel that some of you are feeling things are okay for the next 2 weeks. I think for most Librans, it's going to be okay. Okay, now let's go to Scorpio. Scorpio, lovely, sensitive Scorpio. Let's look at romance, love and romance for Scorpios. Scorpios who are in relationships. Oh wow, my nose is going nuts, darling. This happens when Spirit is here. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio? Scorpios who are committed, are partnered with someone already in relationships. What wonderful gifts, guidance, and blessings can you give Scorpios? What would be helpful for Scorpios to know? Okay. Ooh, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic connection. And that doesn't surprise me, because Mars is also the traditional ruler of Scorpio. And that is playing a very active role right now. Mars is in Aries at the moment, and it's going to square. So there's a lot of chemistry and sexual energy, libido's a bit high. So yeah, I guess a lot of you Scorpios are feeling very frisky right now. And I think there's a lot of chemistry with your partners. So I think this is a good thing. Okay, so now let's do single Scorpios. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give for single Scorpios? This is for single Scorpios. Let's do this. Single Scorpios. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings for the last 2 weeks in... Oh, feeling the energy. Okay. There we are. What is this? Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So, you know, a lot of people think that they're not going to meet anyone during this time. They're stuck in their homes alone or with their family, and there's no way to meet someone new. But there's always a way to meet someone new. You can meet someone online through those apps, swipe left, swipe right. You know, you can, you know, kick up a conversation. You don't have to meet someone during this time, but you can set the stage for meeting someone later, as I said earlier. Or join groups with like-minded people, you know, or take up hobbies, or, you know, online classes, because you know, I'm in an online class that I interact with my fellow, we're all live, so we ask questions. It's like being in a classroom, but we can see each other on the screen, and we can ask our teacher questions, and we interact all the time. It's just like being in a class. Perhaps, you know, interrupting a little more than normal. But anyway, I digress. So, beautiful. Stay optimistic. There's hope, darling. Just because we're quarantined doesn't mean that you can't set the stage and you can't meet someone. Okay, so Scorpio, this is about finance. This is for Scorpio. Yes. Okay, this is What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio for finances for the last 2 weeks of April? Okay. Oh, my nose is going nuts. I just want to go. I just want to ravage it. I'm going to have to. Oh, it's never does this, but when I'm doing the readings, it's crazy. It was kind of refreshing not to be on screen, so I could rub my nose whenever I needed to for the last week's readings. Okay, this is for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio for finances, on finances for the last 2 weeks of April? Oh, there we have it. Oh, I wasn't going to pull two, but we had it. Okay, so what do I say? This is about classes. This is about going back to school. This is the apprentice card, the Eight of Pentacles. So this can be learning something new, or this can also be about really honing your craft, becoming an expert, and being so focused and engrossed, giving the time and energy that your profession or your artistry calls for. So this is really being focused on it. And then you have the Three of Pentacles, and this is about teamwork, right? The Three of Pentacles is about hearing input from those that may not seem okay. So let me put it this way: here are two nobles, right? And they are intently listening to this person who is, like a stone worker. So he might be an apprentice, right? But they are hearing they have expertise, and the nobles have maybe made the design, but this guy is the one that's working on it, and they are intently listening to him because they respect his and they value his knowledge and his input, and they are taking his advice. So this is about playing as a team and acknowledging that some people have knowledge that you don't have, and encompassing that. So it's very important to remain a team player, and perhaps you're embarking on something new, and you could listen. This could be about the Eight of Pentacles could be about going back to school. It could be just studying something new, and it could be enhancing your knowledge on something that you already are doing. But it's definitely focusing on learning and studying and listening to people, for you to, because I will say this about the Eight of Pentacles, there's all these coins right here. And so the more you study and the more you learn about this, the potential for this, the money's there. It just needs to come down. You've just got to know a little more. So this, the potential to earn a lot of money is there. Okay, we are going on to Sagittarius, darling. Sagittarius, freedom, darling. Adventure, spirituality. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius? Those Sagittarians who are partnered and already in committed relationships. Okay. Okay. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius for those who are in relationships on love and finance? Guys, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. It really helps in the logarithm. Okay, thank you. Okay, so, Clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you now. So it says very soon. So you have to kind of ask yourself, what do you want out of your relationship? You know, really be clear about what you want. And, you know, we all have different languages of love, don't we? And we need to be really clear about what we want before we can let our partner know, and then allow it to come to us. Because sometimes we are so, when we're in relationships, we're so focused on what they're not giving us. So whatever you focus on expands, right? So the law of attraction is focusing on what you want out of it, not what you don't want. When you focus on what you don't want, it brings you more of what you don't want. So you want to focus on what you want. You have to be very clear about that. I remember once thinking, wow, what do I really want? And then I was like, wow, that's interesting. I know what I don't want, but what do I want? So when I focused on what I do want, that's what I'm attracting. Okay, so now Sagittarius for, this is for single Sagittarians. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius, single Sagittarius, on love and romance? What can they expect? What can you tell single Sagittarians? That includes somebody who's newly dating as well. This does. Okay, Sagittarius, single Sagittarius. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Sagittarius? Okay. For the last 2 weeks in April. There it is. This has come up a lot. Playfulness. So, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So present yourself. Let that inner child come out. Glow. Be fun. Look for things, wonderful things to do, fun things to do, to be, to have. I mean, let your personality shine, Sagittarius. And you know, you are very gregarious and out there, and let that lovely inner light come out and shine, you know, and that's getting in touch with your inner child, and just be playful and light-hearted, you know, nothing intense, and that will be very attractive to others. Okay, now let's do finance for Sagittarius. Let me see. Scorpio. Oh, really? Oh, great. Thank you, Bria, for letting me know that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, this is for finance for Sagittarius. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius on finances for the last 2 weeks of April? Sagittarius, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius? Okay, I have to just do this one more time. Sometimes Spirit wants me to do it again. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Finances for Sagittarius for the last 2 weeks in April. Okay. Loosens up the energy in the cards. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and help. There it is. Okay. For the next 2 weeks, a brilliant idea can come in. Now, Sagittarius. The Ace of Wands, new beginning, a new idea, a spark of inspiration. Really pay attention to any kind of sparks of inspiration. Write them down, because sometimes we get them and then we lose them straight away. You must write these down so that you can develop it, because the potential here is amazing. It's like a little spark that can light a flame, that can set a big fire ablaze, right? So the potential is massive. So you really want to, it's a gift. It's an inspirational gift. And it's going to just, boom, pop in your mind. And it can pop out just as fast. So you want to write it down. Pay attention. Look out. Quieten your mind. Quieten the monkey brain so that you can have these downloads from spirit, that you can get these inspirational sparks, or a spark of an idea on a new way of earning money, Sagittarius. You're going to find a brilliant way. Maybe you're doing something and this will be a spark of inspiration to do something a little differently, to change up something, that's really going to potentially be very lucrative for you. So pay attention to those inspirational ideas, and you might get loads of them, but one in there is a gem. There's a gem in there. Look for it. Okay, Capricorn, darling, let's go on to Capricorn. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Capricorn for the last 2 weeks of April? And this is Capricorn for those Capricorns in relationships, already committed or who are committed and are either married or living or partnered with someone. This is for Capricorn. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Capricorn? Okay. Partnered Capricorns. Sparky's, I don't know if you can hear him, he's dreaming. He's in the fields chasing rabbits or squirrels. Doesn't really chase rabbits, he likes birds. Okay. There we go. Ooh, darling. Okay, so this says, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So look, this can be a recommitting to someone if you're in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship and you're not living with them, or perhaps this is a time that, you're going to get engaged, or you're going to commit to, you're going to move in with someone, or you've moved in and you're going to marry. Or you're in a relationship, but it's turned look, there are ebbs and flows in every relationship. Sometimes, you can't stand each other, and then there's other times that you're madly in love again, or one person loves someone more than the other, and vice versa. It's very, up and down. And this is like an upswing in your relationship. This is a feeling of love and, really appreciating the fact that you really appreciate the fact that you have someone to stay home with at this time, that you're not alone. Like a lot of people are alone, and you're grateful that you're with someone and you can share this time together. So now let's do single Capricorns. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Capricorns? Oh, my nose. Honestly, I want to tear my nose off. As soon as I get off screen, it stops. As soon as I stop the readings, it stops itching. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I have to do that. Oh, gosh. Okay, single Capricorns. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give single Capricorns at this time for the last 2 weeks in April? Single Capricorns. There we are. Here we go. Oh my goodness. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So take the leap of faith. If you've been interested in someone, and someone has, perhaps you've been messaged by someone that you've known for a while, or you've perhaps been acquaintances, and then all of a sudden they email you or message you and say they fancy you, whatever it is, you know, go with it. You know, even if you have some trust issues, it's, you know, it's saying it's safe for you to love. Go with it. You know, it's funny, I was talking, I have, you know, a lot of friends who are astrologers, and a lot of them are going, oh, well, you know, I don't think it'll work out. And I knew one years ago, and he would look at the charts and say, oh, you know, this will never work out. And I said, you know, stop, you know, you're missing out on the journey. Sometimes the journey in finding out that something isn't going to work out is fun. You know, live life to the fullest, enjoy everything. Even if it doesn't work out, you can learn from it for your next one, right? Okay, now let's do finances for Capricorn. This is for Capricorn. And you have Pluto moving through your house. So it has been very transformative for you guys in the last few years. And I think Pluto goes into Aquarius in 2024, 25, something like that. It might go in 24 for a bit, come back out, and then go back in. But yeah, so it's coming to the end of its, well, you're 2/3 of the way through, right? The travel through Capricorn. So a lot is changing for you guys. You've definitely, you know, you've definitely evolved during this time. Okay, so this is for finances for Capricorn. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Capricorn for the last 2 weeks of April? Well, this is interesting. This is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about taking it slow. He stands there and he's, you know, he wants to make more of those coins, right? He's manifesting, he wants to make more coins. But what he does is he doesn't waste any energy. He's not rushing in like other knights, you know, here I come to save the day. He's like, no, let me see what's going on here. And he surveys the land, and he takes small, strategic and methodical steps forward, little steps at a time. So this is about planning. So this is not about rushing into anything. This is about taking the slow boat. I always think of that, the slow boat to China. This is about taking the slow, steady steps forward, planning every move strategically. So that, you know, not rushing in or making, risky investments. It's not about risk taking. This isn't. This is about planning and taking your time. And he doesn't waste any of his energy. The Knight of Pentacles, and he's all about manifesting wealth. That's what he wants. That's his goal. But he's going to take his time doing it. He's not in a rush. He's playing the long game here. So I think that's what you have to do. You have to play the long game, Capricorn. It's not about quick fixes. It's not about, you know, risky business. No, it's about tried and true and strategically and seeing all your options and not, you know, making firm moves forward, but moving nonetheless. So definitely not staying stuck, moving forward, but being extremely cautious and careful about where you move. And don't waste your energy and don't rush in. Okay, so now we have Aquarius. Aquarius. Okay, this is Aquarius. These are for Aquarius who are in relationships, who are in committed relationships. Let's have a look, see what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys, because that helps with the algorithm. appreciate that. And let me see what that says. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Arsinia. Yes, yes, I feel... Oh, you should have seen me last week. Well, I think I did a live feed on the group and I was not looking great. But I am feeling perfect now. Well, as perfect as one can in this time. I feel great. Okay, this is for Aquarius, for committed, partnered Aquarians. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius, who are partnered for the last 2 weeks in April? Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is saying getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. This is an opportunity to deepen your bond and to really kind of share and get intimate. And, you know, sometimes we can be so taken up with the everyday chores and activities that we do just for life to keep going, that we don't spend those intimate moments and sharing about, you know, perhaps we reveal something about ourselves that, you know, people that are lovers are surprised, and we can share each other. It's like you deepen that bond when you spend quality time together. So, you know, crack open a bottle of wine and, you know, sit and have that wonderful deep conversation. Don't put the television on, you know, don't have a distraction outside of yourself, you know, create those intimate moments. And so now we're going to do Aquarius, single Aquarians. Aquarius, this is single Aquarians. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We are coming into the age of Aquarius, darling. Okay, Saturn has moved into Aquarius. We're feeling that too. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give to single Aquarians through these cards for the last 2 weeks in April? Here it is. Oh, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So maybe you're talking to someone online. Maybe you've just started dating and you're in the honeymoon phase. I would like, you know, listen, there are so many creative ways of, when you're chatting to someone, you can really feel that you're in this relationship, even if you're not seeing them. Particularly Aquarians, they kind of love that intimacy from a distance, right? It's very Aquarian. Together, but not together. Touch me, don't touch me. So this is creating that honeymoon. It's so easy to get into that phase. So you can do, listen, people can Zoom now and they can have bridges in the background as they're on their phone walking around. It's amazing. You can have, without a green screen, you can have a green screen background, which is brilliant. You don't really have to have the green screen for it. So you could create a Venetian honeymoon. You could, you know, I mean, there's loads of things that you can do. So I feel that, you know, some of you are in the honeymoon phase. Enjoy it, darling. Okay, Aquarius, what's going on financially for you? Let's see. Okay, this is for Aquarius. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius in terms of finances for the last 2 weeks in April? What can you tell them? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aquarius about their finances in April? Okay. Aquarius for finance for last week in April. Ah, okay. Now you have the Justice card. And I think of this as Sagittarius. You know, this is Sagittarius and Aquarius right now. It's about, it's about, Sagittarius, sorry, not Sagittarius, what am I talking about? Saturn is very it's structured and rules. And what's interesting is, you are, your ruling planet is Uranus, but Saturn is exalted in your sign. So Saturn loves Aquarius, which is really interesting when you think of the two energies. But anyway, Saturn is the old man and Uranus is young and innovative, right? And that's the ruler and sudden happenings and electrifying. But the Justice card is all about balance. It's about doing things for the right reason, right? It's about, I always think of this as karmic as well. So, it's about look, you are about the collective. You are about unity. So I feel that you have to plan for what's the best for everyone, not just you. So it's not a time, and I never think of Aquarians as being greedy. They're so not. They're so generous, and they're so, they want to help everyone. They want to be there for others. They're very generous of, they want to help humanity. It's about humanity. It's about raising up humanity. So I feel the Justice card is really about doing things for the right reason. So if you're investing, make sure that you're investing in something that's going to help the planet, right? That if you start a business or if you're in business, make sure that it's uplifting humanity and not causing, don't invest in something that's toxic. Even if you're investing in the market, don't invest in oil, invest in renewable energy, invest in innovative ideas to go forward. It's really about lifting us up and putting us putting us all into the future in a positive light. So I feel also that the Justice card is a little about restricting. So be careful on what you spend right now. So there may be a little restriction going on. And with Saturn going through your sign, that depending on where it's landing in your natal chart. And guys, if you do want a natal chart interpretation or what's going on astrologically, how you're being affected, go to my website. I'll put a link below and you can get a very in-depth information on how all this stuff is affecting you. So this is about a little restriction. And I would say financial, generally, I would say it's a financial, you have to really be careful on we all do right now. It's just about getting what we need, not what we want. It's not about overstocking in something. It's not about hoarding. We have to kind of remember that other people need things. So perhaps go to the shops a little more often, and don't stock up. I know in a lot of the stores, they're not allowing you to do it, which is good, I think. So I would just say, if you're buying something, think about your neighbors, think about other people in the world and who also needs what you're buying. And if you're investing, invest in something that's going to uplift humanity and the planet. So it's very karmic. Think about that before you spend. Okay, and we go to Pisces. Pisces is the last, what's that? Is there my tune? Yeah, Aquarius. Exactly. Okay, this is Pisces. Last but not least. Okay, this is for Pisces, those in relationships. Those are committed, those who are committed in relationships. Let's see what we have for love and finances for Pisces. This is beautiful. Okay. Thank you, Noor, for monitoring everything. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, this is for Pisces. For Pisces who are in committed relationships, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces for the last 2 weeks of April in terms of their love and finance? Those who are partnered already. No? Okay. There it is. Trust, darling. Okay. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So, you've got to trust. Trust that things are working out exactly the way they are, that things are happening for a reason. You know, sometimes, you know, people are separated during this time, but they have to trust in their lover or their partner. This is choosing to trust. I remember reading this book. It was Anthony Robbins, it was his first book, Unlimited Power. And I read it in the 80s or 90s, I think it was, not the 80s. And he, in that, there was a relationship section, and he said that in relationships, sometimes you have to go back to the beginning when you totally trusted them as you're falling in love, right? It was just trusting. You had no reason not to trust them. And it's a choice. So this is saying choose to trust them. Go back to the innocence, how you remembered it, and choose to trust. Now let's go to Pisces singles. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can we give Pisces? Those who are single, about love and romance for the last 2 weeks in April. This is for Pisces singles. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces for the last 2 weeks in April? Okay. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Very soon. This has come up so much. Clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you now. This is interesting because you have to know what you want. You have to focus on what you want. Don't say, I don't want this and I don't want that. Say, I want this and I want that. I always say to clients, you know, when relationships don't work out, think about that relationship and think about all the good things in that relationship and say, my next relationship will have that, and that. And I also want this, this, and this. So don't say, I don't want that in my next relationship, because whatever you focus on is what you attract, right? So think about what you want. Write down what you want. Imagine you having it in a relationship. Okay, now we're going to finances, and then we will open up for questions. So this is finances for Pisces. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces on finances for the last 2 weeks in April? Sorry, I just have to have a drink of water. I'm really getting hot here. Lovely, thank you. Okay, this is for finances for Pisces. What wonderful blessings and helpful information can you give Pisces for finances for the last 2 weeks in April? Okay, wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces? Oh, okay. Oh, look at this. Okay. Celebrate. I feel that things are going to look up for you. This is like celebration. This is you being celebrated. So you're getting a raise or money's coming in for you for sure. And look, you've got the Ace of Cups. My cup floweth over. I see abundance for you, Pisces. things are working out. Maybe your stimulus check shows up 2 weeks in a row and other money comes in for you. I feel that you're going to be a bit flush for the last 2 weeks in April. You're going to feel that. That's lovely. Okay. Oh, yes. So, Noor, thank you so much for being such an incredible monitor. Now, guys, I am ready to answer questions for you. And I'm also, please don't forget to like this video. And look, I know people are strapped, but if you can manage a super chat, that would be great. And if not, that's okay too. You know, I get it. So anybody have any questions? I'm opening it up for you. Any questions for the tarot? Opening it up for questions from you guys. Lovely. Anybody have a question? Somebody wanted a question, right? Karen. Karen, will I start the job this summer? Will I start? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's do this. Let's try these cards first. I was going to bring my angel answers in. Should I? Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, will Karen start the job in the summer? Feeling that. Ah, look at this. This is the 9 of Pentacles. So this is like you're almost at the finish line. So don't give up. The thing is, you really need to kind of, it's almost like you're tired of fighting and waiting and, you know, you want to give up, but this is saying don't give up. I'm going to clarify this because I have a feeling that it might kind of be a bit more delayed, but don't lose heart. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Thank you. Don't lose. I really appreciate that. I'll answer that question after this pandemic. Will I move to Virginia? Oh, remember that. That was like, no, don't you know before. Yeah. Okay. So this is, and guys, I need to say that I think this is going to last longer than we anticipate, and I think kind of the governments are in a bit of fear and might kind of, I'm not so sure it's going to get back to normal until perhaps next year. Oh, thank you, Arsinia. Thank you, Arcy. Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to clarify this for you, Karen, and then I'll go on to the other question. Okay. So this feels like it's going to be a bit of delay, but I feel that it's going to happen anyway. You just have to kind of hang in there. Okay, just clarify the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, yeah. Oh yeah, look, see, you've got the Chariot. So Karen, this is about, you know, you're going to get there. And it's going to be triumphant. And what's interesting is, this is interesting because this is Cancer rules this. So it's a very difficult journey, but it ends in success. And this is about determination. The two are the same. Just hang in there. You've got to hang in there. But it will end triumphantly. Now, this could be, you know, Cancer rules this, so this could be July, if we're looking at time. But I'm kind of getting that there's a delay here, and that's what's kind of you know, it's waiting and waiting and waiting, but don't give up on it. It's definitely going to happen. You just have to be a little more determined and not give up on it. It just may not happen in the time that you're expecting it. Okay, so let's do after this pandemic. This is for Lisa. After this pandemic, will Lisa move to Virginia? And then I'll see, you're so sweet, thank you. And the Truth Warrior, I'll get to you in a second. Okay, will my economics get more secure? Okay, I'll ask that. Okay, so Lisa, this is after the pandemic, will I move to Virginia? Let's see. After this pandemic, will... let's have a look. Let me just see something here. Yes. Okay, this is for Lisa. Lisa, will Lisa move to Virginia after this pandemic? Okay. Well, look, this is what you have to do. You've got to release the worst case scenario. So whatever you're thinking about, you're seeing the worst case scenario, Lisa, right now. And this, you have to come out of this, because I feel that this is blocking you. Oh, you're welcome, Karen. But let me clarify this. I feel that there's so much worry, and what's going on right now is that you are not seeing the trees for the forest, or the forest for the trees. However that goes, I'm not sure how that goes. But let me clarify that. So I think we went through this before. Maybe Virginia's not going to be, maybe it's not the best. Would it be, let's ask this, would it be the best for you and everyone if you move to Virginia after the pandemic? Would that be a really good choice? I'm getting no. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's have a look. It's interesting. You've got the Knight of Wands, and it's here I come to save the day. The Knight of Wands. Don't be impulsive. Don't make a decision because you think it's... I feel that you'll make a decision out of fear. You have to be careful of this fear. You know, the only way to get out of the fear is to meditate and to be in the moment and allow spirit to come in. But I'm feeling that you're in so much fear that you might be impulsive. So I feel that the move to Virginia might not be the right time to do it. Don't impulsively move there because you're in fear. Does that make sense for you, Lisa? Okay, Arcee, will my economics get more secure? Let's see. And then I'll go back to you, the Truth Warrior. Okay, this is for Arcee. Well, Arcee's economics get more secure. It's very difficult at this time, you know. I'm going to do an extensive horoscope reading with what's happening with the new moon. So our intentions are very important right now. But let's see. This is for Arcee. Will Arcee's finances become more secure? Oh my goodness, what did I say? That's so funny. Okay, so look at this. This is the Hermit. It's about being still. It's about going within. This new moon particularly is about that. It's about going within. It's about quietening the mind. It's about bringing your attention back to your body, to the inner sanctum, not allowing your mind to control your actions or reactions. And this is the thing. So your mind, you've got the Four of Cups, which is missed opportunities. So you can be so focused on trying to, in fear of not having security, that you're actually missing opportunities and you're missing the gift. And I've been saying that to everyone. Worry is not going to help anyone. Right now, stop thinking about what's down the road in a few weeks when your bills come. You have to be right here, right now. What can I do right now? Some of us are, lost our jobs, and some of us are, stuck inside, and perhaps we don't have any income, and we don't know what's going to happen none of us know. It's a very unsure time. And it's very fearful if you allow your mind to go. It's not like I don't go there too. We all go there, but it's just don't stay there. It's like look down the rabbit hole, just don't fall down it. And the only way to stay sane is to meditate and to really kind of quieten the monkey brain. Because I'm telling you, when you meditate, you get downloads. You are connecting with source energy when you meditate. When you go within, you are connecting with that infinite pool of unconditional love, that ocean of unconditional love and inspiration. So you by constantly thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to get this money? What's going to happen? Put that aside. Worrying has never, ever solved a problem, right? But when you meditate, you quieten your mind, you get these brilliant ideas, right? And when you're focused on the moment, you can have these incredible, brilliant ideas. If you knew my situation at the moment, you would be like, what? She's online doing this? I'm telling you, we can't worry about what's going on. We can't. We can only be in the moment. And right now, we're okay, right? We're online. We have a connection to the internet. We have a roof over our heads. We are, eating, whatever it is, we're okay right now. And that's what we have to hold on to. We have to hold on to what's going on right now. And then we can quieten the mind. Don't be in the future. Don't be in the past. Be in the now. And then meditate, and you will receive brilliant ideas. You will get inspiration. Because I feel that your mind is stopping you. It's like, look, what hasn't worked out? I've been laid off. I haven't got my job. Am I going to get this job back? Am I going to start work? Am I going to do this? Oh my God, this is not working out. It's terrible. Oh. And then we're missing this gift, right? So the Four of Cups is missed opportunities. Honestly, I can't stress how important it is to go within, quieten that monkey brain so that you can hear the inspirational, you can tap into those inspirational ideas that are going to, that are lucrative, that you can put into practice. Let's have a look. Let me see. The Truth Seeker. Will I receive my inheritance by the end of this year? Okay, that's a good question. Will the Truth Warrior seek their inheritance by the end of this year? Let's try this. Mary, I have given my assignment. Wait. I've given him my assignment. After reading, my oral exam go well, and do they, what? INF? I don't know what that means. Sorry. Patience is the answer. The universe has my answer. That's exactly, yes. Wherever I go, I'll wear a mask, sense of humor. Four of Cups is what I feel too. Yeah. Oh, great. I have a guided meditation. If you I was getting one from the paternal size 214 and 215. Okay, great. Okay, so this is the truth seeker. Will the inheritance come by the end of this year? What wonderful gifts, guidance, helpful information can you give the truth seeker in reference to the inheritance? Will they get it by the end of the year? Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Yes, celebrate. This is the 6 of Wands. This is saying that you are being publicly celebrated. I would say yes. You're getting the inheritance by the end of the year. Yes, I would say yes. INF for tutors and the 4 of Cups. Yeah, Mary, I have given him my assignment after reading. It will be my oral exam with INF. Go well. Will I pass with less corrections? I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure what you're asking me, to be honest. Will I pass with less corrections? Will I pass with I don't know what that. Let me see. That, you know what, that's interesting. You know, oh, thank you, RC. Listen, RC, I have the guided meditation that I put out for this pandemic. I was really guided. I was told that I needed to do it, so I put one out, and I always put it as a link at the end of the video. So watch any video, and there's a link to that guided meditation. It's like 10 minutes or something. So check that out. And it was, my guides wanted me to do that for this pandemic. So I put that together about a month ago, three to 4 weeks ago. I made that. So check that out. That might help you. I don't know. I mean, of course, you don't have to do mine. You can do, there's hundreds out there, hundreds of guided, whatever kind of resonates with you and feels good. Try that. But I did use my, what did I use on that? Oh no, I didn't use that because I have to be careful of, on YouTube I can't use certain things because of royalty, so I don't want to, you know, want to be careful. Okay, so nor you have to justify what you've written, and so you're asking if you're going to do all right with that. Will your oral go well? Let's have a look. I'm assuming that you're saying that. Yeah, it's I put it at the end of every video. So the last videos that I did last week, check those out. Go to my page and you'll see them. And there's a link at the end of every video to that. There's the playlist link, and then there's the meditation link. So check it out. And I'm like, Arcee, did you get because anybody that's had hypnosis from me really benefits from those guided meditations. I don't remember if I gave you a hypnosis session. Maybe not. Maybe it was just a reading. Okay, so this is for Nor. Will Nor do well on the written, on the oral test? Oh, you got 2. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. You've got the, this is about manifestation. This is about love. This is about creativity. And she's about expansion, right? So this is about, you know, you have to practice this oral and you've got to manifest it, right? Now, so this is, you know, this is about this is about being very creative in how you present your oral, your oral explanation. So don't be monotone. Use inflections in your voice. Do things that you wouldn't normally do, because Pluto's there too, right? This is the death card, transformation. So this is death and rebirth. There's a chance that you may have to do it a second time with the death and rebirth. But this can also indicate a new way of doing it. So I would really practice in front of a mirror and really change the way you would normally do it, and do something completely different, and use a different tonality in your voice. Rise up. I have a friend who has a very raspy voice, and when she talks she goes raspier and raspier. But when she is animated, I always constantly say, lift the octave of your voice, right? Raise the octave up, because it's hard to understand her when she gets tired and she just goes into that raspy, and it's like, what did you say? What? So, and I really am getting that you need to inflect your voice. You've got to bring it up and down. So you've got to get passionate with it. So work on it in the mirror. Do it differently to how you do it. Expand on some things, use a little personality in there, smile a lot when you're saying it, because that brings an energy into your, like, look, when I'm smiling, I'm bringing that energy into whatever I'm saying, right? But if I'm talking like this, then it's different. So I am smiling, yes, and then I did this, and blah, 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 and I'm animated, and I'm excited, and that engages the person who's hearing it. So I would really rehearse. You have to rehearse this and know it like the back of your hand. So even if you've handed in your written test and it didn't do well, still rehearse it, because the information is probably not going to change that much. You're going to tweak it the way you've written it. I don't know if that... okay, let me see. Okay, you're welcome. I'm seeing, are there any more? Elven, will I receive a successful contract offer this year for your project? Okay, so this is L. Will you receive a successful contract for your project? This is for L. Oh, fabulous. I'm glad. Yes, exactly. Meditate too. I get that. Yeah. Okay, fabulous. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense to you. Let me know how it goes. Oh, you're welcome, darling. I want to know how that goes more. Okay, so this is for L. Will L receive a contract? You're welcome, darling. Let me see. Let me ask this question again. Receive a successful contract offer this year for the project. Okay, too many fell out there. Okay, will L receive a successful contract for the project this year? Okay, let's see. Knight of Swords. So I would say that this is very fast energy coming in. So this is communication, fast communication. It's not it's very kind of just and fair, because the Knight of Swords is the champion for justice. Out of all the knights, he is, even though they all are champions for justice, this one more than anything. So it's very karmic, and it's, you're going to find out very fast, one way or another. Now, if you've done a really good job and you've crossed your T's and you've dotted your I's, yes, you will. But this is very, this is saying you really have to kind of go over everything with a fine-tooth comb, because this sometimes can mean that you've rushed the project to the end to get a contract. So just go back over your project and make sure that everything is perfect. And everything is okay, but you will, because this, you know, he's about rushing in, and maybe you've rushed your project to hand it in, maybe a little. I'm not sure, but I would definitely go over things to be detailed. And this, you know, the swords are about communication, and sometimes they can be cutting, but they're honest. So even if you don't get a successful project, you will get honest feedback. So I would say take a look at your project again and make sure that it is. Don't rush the project. I don't know if you've finished it yet, but I'm really getting don't rush it. And don't rush it to get the contract, because it needs to be perfect, and it needs to be honest and authentic. So if you haven't handed it in, don't rush to hand it in. But if you have handed it in, you're going to hear back pretty quickly, one way or another. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Guys, thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate that. It really helps me out. That's really lovely of you all. And let's see. Anybody else have any questions? Any more questions, darling? And I am going to get these videos up for this week, and I have a lot to talk about in terms of astrology. And I want to do, those of you who aren't members, I want to do the live stream for the new moon. I'm going to try and do it. I think it's on Wednesday, right? The new moon. So you're welcome, Elvin. Oh, thank you, Lise. Thank you, Nor. You both, Lisa and Nor, beautiful people. I love you for being monitors. Now, yes, so I will be doing a live feed. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, I will, once this has rendered, I will put the link to the Facebook group so you can join the Facebook group, and I'll probably do a live feed there on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll let you guys know closer to the time. And I'll be on screen for the videos this week. How wonderful is that? And please don't forget to like this and share it, and comments, you know, regular comments once this has been rendered. Guys, I love you all. There doesn't seem to be any more questions. I love you all, and I'll see you online, or definitely on YouTube, or in my astrology Facebook group. Mwah! I love you all. I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.